president o fango be futala ali akala mutale ko sango sang president ka futa janne pour ka fo mansa pour ka fo mole min kera banku dingolti ka foy ko ye mune soto ala mansa kunda ye mune soto la kolea kolu anim fanan e lafta mune kela banko e aka e ka be satale at national assembly to janne andon aka e ka senandi ala mansa kunda e sanjinani nyongol soto konotole yo kolea kol soto le bari ye kudolu fanan kele miyalon ko mose kumandino developmental kollem bare kolea kol soto le ali akala mutale kabring anata nun nyimbun kilingoto serun sangola 2020 afrata nun jang adiamuta nun ku jamala adaba kono wolem na banko fangola economy wolem na fankola fannati adiamuta la kolal nun woto ngatandi national anthem wolem bankola foreya juloti ngamurun nan folo of course na sirifani tiolu nyalon ko walla be lorum jannabe dunna kono to kala diamolu to mo jamalu be sirin jande nyalon ko e be sirine ba batun kan kono to be damento science tenting wala mo national assembly bu ngoto mokay di jajeufal kepa ko xamne yange setan Kerr Fatou mala sen boka buba gaji go ñu leen nekkal ci national assembly bi time bini of course am xam ngeen state of nation address moo nekk di xew tey of course am njiiti réew mi every year def day ñëw si national assembly bi pour mu won ñu yan jafe-jafe la am waaye tamit yan development yoo xam ne bëgg na koo defal of course am Gambia waaye tamit si suñ wàllu koom-koom bi ak lépp loo xam ne mu ngi féetoo si wàllu Gambia daf koy wax si national assembly bi fii nii si loolu la ñëw te président bi dañ ko déglu ñu dégg lan la moo wax xamoon nañ ne last year ñëwoon na fii nii waxoon na yu bari ñu dem si suñu économie bi interior ak yeneen fànn yoo xam ne ñu ngi si nguur bi of course am président bi waxoon na ko gis ngeen moom moo nekk di dem nii national assembly bi buñ ko of course am play ba pare dafa mel ni mu ngi ñëw dugga si léegi pour ñu pour gars yi mun a commencer last year soo leen fàttalikee waxoon na si mbiri of course am koom-koom bi Gambia bi boo xam ne waxoon na si lu bari te tamit blemoon na COVID-19 boo xam ne génnoon na sax si lu nekkoon problème boo xam ne ñu amoon problème Gambia fii nii waxoon na si lu bare last year bu mu ñëwoon si national assembly bi fii nii because waxoon na ne of course suñ GDP bi dafa mel ni dafa wàññeeku woon jógee 6% ñëw ba 2% waxoon na si loolu noonu waaye dafa mel ni njiiti réew mi nekk na ko xam ne léegi nekk na more than 4 years si nguur bi of course am Gambia fii nii am na jafe-jafe yoo xam ne of course am na ko si nguur bi su demee soo ñëwee si security side bi soo ñëwee si wàllum dunda bi waaye am nañ yenn development yoo xam ne gis nañ am na tali yoo xam ne tamit defar na ko so léegi this year ñu ngi sentu of course am njiiti réew mi of course la moo wax tey si national assembly bi fii nii ñëpp a ngi toog di ko xaar ministre yi ñëw nañ vice président bi mu ngi fi waaye nañ leen won everything loo xam ne da tey dafa jàll si national assembly bi fii nii just to be reminded that you are watching Kerr Fatou and then we are live at the national assembly of course to witness the state of national address by the of course, His Excellency President Adama Barrow is already in the building, and then so many ministers are around. The Vice President also earlier arrived at the National Assembly here. The President is expected to give a long speech here at the National Assembly. As you can see, the ministers are seated already waiting for the President, who is outside the building, of course, having his parade here at the National Assembly. That is Honorable, of course, Musa Drame and Ahmad Ba. Musa Drame is the Minister of Local Government and Lands, and Ahmad Ba is the Minister of Tourism. Next to Ahmad Ba is Ami Fabre, who is the Minister of Agriculture, and then next to Ami Fabre is the Minister of Youth and Sports, who is, of course, Bakari Baji. So the ministers are here, and so many high dignitaries in the building. As you can see, the Vice President seated there, and the Finance Minister, that is Dauda Jallo, seated there. So we're waiting for the President to arrive here in the building so that everything will be, of course, everything will be started at the National Assembly here. I'm sure there are so many thousands of Gambians that are waiting outside to hear from the President today. What will he say? What are the difficulties that this government is having? We understand that, of course, the President faced some difficulties. That is Fafa Sanyang, is the Minister of Petroleum in the country. That is Fafa Sanyang. And the minister, of course, the President is expected to say so many things today at the National Assembly here, ranging from economic and finance, of course, and to interior. We understand that there are somehow so many difficulties when it comes to the interior. When it comes to the interior ministry, of course, security-wise, the Gambia is definitely crying. That is the reality. But this government has, of course, achieved some other things. I'm 100% sure the President will highlight some of the things. But people will be interested to hear about the things that the President will be talking about today, especially the challenges that they'll be having. Last year, as I said, he blamed so many things on COVID-19 when he came here at this National Assembly. And one of the things that he said about COVID-19, what he attributed to COVID-19 was on the finance and economic. He said, of course, the Gambia was experiencing a slowdown economic growth, according to the President last year's, of course, nation address speech. And he said the GDP growth rate, of course, that they had declined from 6% to 2%, according to the President, what he said. And he talked about so many things. He talked about so many things. He talked about, of course, interior. He talked about, of course, that current situation of last year. He talked about so many things, that the challenges, but he attributed most of the things that he talked about, the problem led to, of course, COVID-19. That was according to the President, of course, the President last year. So we listen to him. The National Assembly members are seated, of course, and then ministers are seated, journalists are here, and so many higher dignitaries. And that is the, of course, the leader of, or the interim leader of course, APRC, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta. Remember, recently he formed an alliance with the, of course, National People's Party, that is the President Party. Of course, it's shocked and a surprise to so many people that, of course, the former president, who is alleged to be a dictator, that he formed a coalition with the current president, of course, Adama Barrow. But we'll wait to see, and then he's yet to enter the National Assembly. Badingol han sayamba fulale ko mbe Banjul National Assembly dula mialon ko president obi abe futala nan janne andong afreda le fangsa fono le fa pareta andong abe dunna konotole bari jannabe futala mo jamalu duntanum konotole pour ka joko si president isa batuno nyamen min bako ministre mi yalon ko le marta na petroleum la kola min kera fafa sanyanti afutale na ministre mi yalon ko le marta na tourism la kola anila luntangol la tanina min kera honorable Ahmad Bati ada fanan kera multi mi yalon ko afutata National Assembly ñun luwada da bungo mi yalon ko abidjan bari na ministre mi yalon ko le marta agriculture wolem seno fannati afanan kera multi mi yalon ko afutata mansa kundala advisor president wala advisor wala min ka dia man sakunda to yala Ibrahima Sankare ali atele je combatanting abe siring ate fanan dabe mol kono le mialon ko e futatale na minister mialon ko wala be mararing na tilingola kola Gambia banko kanjang to abol kamin commande justice minister ade fanan dabe mol kono le mialon ko e futatale of course am ni national assembly silam president wala be batu kan kolu mialon ko abe wolle fola banko dingole bayring serun sango ay coronavirus blame le de ako corona dabe kolu kono le mialon ko ye kolya ku jamasi Gambia la surtout na fanko la fanna la fang aya blame coronavirus kam mialon ko wala fintita nun nyina sango mbala moy la ka jibe kol mialon ko anyanta wolle fola kol mialon ko anyanta ala mansa kunda ba fala mile kol mialon ko e wole soro bar aba fala mole fananko ala mansa kunda tonya mol mialon ko be kumboda njigita ko abe nyin kol adresse la le aba fala bare aka wuli wole kam ila kolu anin kol mialon ko anyanta wole kala Gambia e aliajele national assembly member hanisay ebe jikanne kana wala nyimu president wala delegation ol timialon ko akam tele ko ani duntananne mo kam tele ko be dunkanne saying national assembly be dunkan kono tole fam bildino kono da mialon ko kacha nyim fang a nyanta kacha nyanta kala damen ebe dunkan wolto saying tenting ko aliaje nyamen woto national assembly member bebe siri ni minister mialon ko lefta jang ebe president on batun kanne kol nyin akam tele ko abe munafola bi nyindem koti mialon ko abe Kerr woto national assembly al salon ko be banjule mbokay still now ñu ngi leen nekkal banjul nasi national assembly bi fo xamne of course sam njiti rew mi his excellency president Adama Barrow na fi teew wala teew na fi be pare bala mu ngay ñew nak ay ministre yu bari ñëwoon nañ fii comme noo leen ko gisee si suñu screen yi ministre yoo xam ne ministre boo xam ne moom moo yore wàllum koom-koom bi mu ngi fi ministre boo xam ne moom moo yore wàllum gan yi seen ñëw ak dem mu ngi fi kii di honorable Amad Ba mu ngi fi ak yeneen ministre yoo xam ne mënuma leen a lim yëpp ñëpp ñu ngi fi toog nañ di xaar of course his excellency of course the president of the Republic of the Gambia of course president Adama Barrow. Musidɓe min calmina kala gonɗo darde Kerr Fatou joni ni minen on mbiya minen national assembly to min goni kala gonɗo hettinade foof walla kala gonɗo darde minen on mbiya hande président o wonat ɗo walla mbo ɗo ha joni ombo ɗo joni ni sah hande noon ɗo embo yetto ministre ji kewɗi garino ɗo ministre ji gandantuma ɓe liggoɗo e président o e laamu makko e ministre mo gandantuma ko makko makko jogui kulle hoɓɓe garoɓe ɓe walla hoɓɓe giɓe puntoɓe ɓe nder leydi Gambia e ministre o moɗo min ɓe fof ɓe o gandi woni honorable Amad Ba ministre mo gandantuma ko makko jogui kulle nono kulle ɗe jarirte ni walla laaɓi ko tubakoɓe mbiyata ko justice makko ne moɗo walla ministre mo gandantuma makko jogui kulle sukaɓe ɓe yo ko gandantuma ko kulle football makko ne moɗo yo ministre ɓe woɓɓe ɓe gandantuma ɓe gari vice président mo Gambia Aissatou Touré makko ne of course o ari mo e bildine kono joni ko président o woni fadede ɓayi o yettima kono o suwana nder to taw si président o ari rek kulle ɗe fof puɗɗoto national assembly ɗo ko hoko min garani ɗo noon woni of course hande woni state of nation address ko ɗum woni président o arat national assembly hitande fof hitande o arat ɗo so ari ɗo noon ko hoko haalanta yimɓeɓe woni ko tampereji gandantuma ko ɗum ɓe keeɓi e laamu maɓɓe he e nde hitande yawtude kono o haalanat yimɓeɓe ne ko hoko parani Gambia ko e nde hitande nde gandantuma hitande aranade e Gambia o ko ɗum foof haalanat ɗum yimɓe hande so mi kolla yimɓeɓe tan koye national assembly to min goni so président o yettima ko haalata ko ne min mbaɗaten jodda on pour min mba on firtan ko haalta ko of course ɗo national assembly ɗo still now the president is yet to reach of course inside the building but is still outside according to what we are having right now, but then I can tell you he's in the premises of the National Assembly, but it's not in the building yet, or inside I mean. We expecting the president very soon to of course come in the building, and so that we will listen to him and listen to each and every one who will talk here here in this gathering. And then this is a very important gathering, as you know. The president will today address and say so many things. I believe it will be a very long speech at the National Assembly here, and as you can see in these footages, so many people who are seated and waiting for the president. And then I can tell you this is accordance to the section 77 subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Gambia, that the president will address this August gathering today. And then this is the third ordinary session of the National Assembly, and then this one is selected for today, yes, today, of course, on Thursday. Yes, today is Thursday. So we will listen to the president and then see what, or hear what he will say at the National Assembly here. So all I and yes, of course I'm listening to the of course I'm waiting for the president. Of course the president's State of Nation address is expected to focus on the coalition of the Gambia, the policies of the government and the administration of the state. Yes, and then conditions, of course, of the Gambia. The president today's address will, of course, expected to focus on the conditions of the country and the policies of the government, and of course the administration of the state. That is something that is expected today, that the president will delve with here at the National Assembly. Thank you very much, my boss, for that. And as you can see, everyone here is waiting for the president. Bidung jiko mialon ko le soroda banko president o ala diamo kono njikita ko abe mimfola abe diamo la conditionnel wolem ko lu mialon ko wolle de kerin sain tentim banko kan abe diamo la akolale njikita le ko abe wokelale bari fanan abe diamo la police la wolem taran silolu mialon ko abe wolle tala banko kan jang abe diamo la ala kolale jigita le ko abe wol fanan kelale wo mujji ko leti mi anon ko be ngaji ko sodele ko abe wol folale bari be jikarim fanan ko ala administration la ko wala nyinti ko ata fangola molla kolu ela tamandir nyalu ala ela tamandir nyalu jigita ko abe wol fanan folale to abel kamin commandi administration abe diamula wo fanala wala mjikoti mi alon ko sododa ko president obe diamula akolale sila mo bebe president wala batunkan ñin tembenna fo abe futala nan kono do pour ka diamu ñin kola ali alon ne ko nga fo ñamen don tuabu kangoto ñin dabe loi kono le section 77 subsection 1 adabe loi kono 1997 constitution president pour kana National Assembly pour kana ka pour kana donc diamu mole andon ko nga fo ñamen don nga soto na mol bulu bi ñinan sangodum jiko miyalon ko le sododa golem ñinti ko abe diamula bankola conditionol la kola na police il miyalon ko wolle be laring bari fanan abe diamula fanan ala administration la kola administration of the state abe diamula wo fanan na kola le njigita le ko ñindem kolti miyalon ko president o ba of course president oba fola president oba diamula ala kola nyinang of course yeah walem koti mi alan ka be kering walem National Assembly member for of course Woolly West, of course honorable Sidia Jata so thank you very much. And then today is a very interesting day, and I believe every Gambian is watching outside. The President of the Republic of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow, will be inside to, of course, is expected to come inside anytime soon to address the, of course, nation. And then He is expected to focus on the condition of the country, that is the Gambia, the policies of the government, and the administration of the state. That is the expectation today. And then we are here and waiting for the president. Of course. That is Honorable Omar Sise, is the National Assembly member for Nyamina East. Yes, is the National Assembly member for Nyamina East. He's a young politician and then a brilliant one indeed. He's loved. That's the National Assembly member for Sami, of course, district. So still now be Banko President Ole Batunkang Purukadung ay kolu address ko na bankola tarambulolu bita nyamen asa address asa diamu akola mbo Batunkanne nyin tembola president ngobulu. Yes, and then thank you very much. Well, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. The president is now inside the building. As you can see, this is His Excellency President Adama Barrow, and then he's inside the building. He raised his two hands up, and everybody stood. It seems he will be seated, and probably the National Assembly will be observed before the president speaks. I believe so, but the president is still standing, and then
Almighty God,
everyone
in
the National Assembly is on his or her feet. As you can see
for the welfare of society,
on this footage here,
and just government of
Banco President,
we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants whom thou hast been pleased to call.
So let's listen to the Speaker of the National Assembly, of course, Mariam Jagdantin.
Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. Amen. Please can be seated, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Yes, from the chair. That was the Speaker, and then seems the Speaker is talking again. We have to listen to the Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Mariam Jagdantin.
Honorable members of this August Assembly, honorable ministers herein present, Your Excellencies, former Vice Presidents of the Republic of the Gambia, honorable former speakers of the National Assembly, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, service chiefs, the Lord Mayors of Banjul and Kanifing Municipality, senior government officials herein present, regional chief executive officers herein present, traditional leaders, venerable religious leaders, distinguished invited guests, the press, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. Good morning to you all and welcome to the National Assembly. Honorable members, in accordance with Section 77(1) of the 1997 Constitution, His Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, is here today to attend a sitting of this August Assembly and address the current session on the condition of the Gambia, the policies of the government, and the administration of the state. Therefore, on behalf of both sides of the Assembly, and indeed on my own behalf, I welcome warmly His Excellency.